they expect hardware sales to continue to decline, not increase. Now, they did say that the first quarter of the year is always lower. So yes, that's going to be a thing.
Right.
But they think that it's a lot of what happened through COVID of pulling those members forward is still affecting them.
People who would have purchased a bike over the next 3 years pulled the trigger way early because of COVID. And so they gobbled up people sooner than they would have normally.
Yes. And I find it interesting that they are not going to be doing the rental option on the bike. I think that really, shows there are several signals showing that Peloton is kind of just phasing out the original bike.
Right.
One of those things is the fact that you can no longer rent the bike. You can still rent the Bike Plus. Another thing, when they just started this new remove your equipment option, it's only for some members in the tri-state area.
Tri-state area of like the New York region.
Yes. They can also only do that if they buy new equipment, and the list of new equipment only doesn't list the bike.
Right.
It lists every other piece of equipment. So they'll take away old equipment if you buy new equipment, except for the bike. And yeah, I get that there's less refurbished bikes, and that's clearly where these rentals come from, is their refurbished bike. They even talk about that to one of the answers that they had. But I think that it also shows they're not making more of these.
Yeah, it seems like they are intentionally letting that original bike supply deplete.
And I want to be very clear, that does not mean they are not going to support the original bike. A lot of people read our article and assumed that we were also saying they're going to not support it. They're going to turn off the tablet. You're going to be forced to buy a higher model. There's no indication of that at this time. None.
I mean, look, it's technology. There's a life cycle on all of it. Will at some point that cease to function? Sure.
It will.
Do I think that's in the immediate future? Absolutely not.
No.
But I think that in a year you'll be able to buy the original bike? I'm not so sure.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
I agree with that very much. They also talked about that the tread is the most underdeveloped market, that it is the highest growth lever potential. And they said that the highest net promoter score that they have is on the Tread Plus.
Yeah.
And they said that they are really focused on continuing to be more effective and efficient in their marketing, specifically towards men, strength products, and the Latinx population. I infer from that we will continue to see an increase in Spanish language production of classes. I also infer from that there is a possibility of at least one additional Spanish-speaking instructor.
Do you think, and I know that this is not a good time for expansion, but do you think that means they're looking at expanding into a Spanish language market like
Absolutely.
Spain or Mexico?
I think yes, but I don't know that I agree that I don't think that that is happening right now.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that Barry talked about in every call that they had is being super careful about their growth. And I still heard that today, that they are being very, very intentional with the decisions that they are making when it comes to how they're going to grow and where they're spending their money. So yes, I think that will occur.